Hello, it's Rebecca and today is another book review day, and I read this book a few weeks ago before I got ill, and since being ill I've not been able to do any recording because I've just been too... So I do apologise if I've forgotten what has actually happened in this book. So if you have read it and I do make mistakes, I am very, very sorry. So this is the first book that I've been reading for the Wordy Birds 2017 reading challenge, and it's to read 12 books this year. I know, I started off with 52 and then I moved down to 26 and now it's down to 12. Maybe next year I'll just challenge myself to read one book. But it's to read one per month, and it coincides with the radio show that I do with my friend Jane. So we're going to be talking about it on the radio as well as me doing the videos here. So if you'd like to listen or you'd like to take part, I'll leave some links down below where you can click and join in and tell us what you're reading and all that kind of stuff, and we'll mention you on the radio, which will be brilliant. So the category for January is to read a book that has been on your bookshelves for over a year. And if you know me and have watched any of my videos, you know that I buy books, put them on my bookshelves, and they don't get read. So for this category, all I had to do was close my eyes and pull a book off the shelf, any book, because pretty much guaranteed it's been there for over a year. I don't know how long I've had this book for. I know I got it for Christmas. I'm going to say at least 3 years ago, but it may be longer. I honestly don't know. So I have been reading Teen Angst, Naaah, a quasi-autobiographical novel by Ned Vizzini. And I do apologise, Ned, if I've pronounced your name wrong. Where's this guy? Ned Vizzini. So I will read you the blurb and then talk to you about the book. Ned Vizzini is just your average teenager fighting everyday battles with school, parents, street people, rock bands, friends, fame, camp, sex, sort of, Cancun, almost, prom, beer, Nintendo, the New York subway system, and more. With wit, irony and honesty, Ned shares his take on high school conundrums, extracurricular disasters, and the big moments that adults inevitably manage to build up and sell short at the same time. Written by the author of It's Kind of a Funny Story and Be More Chill when he was 19, this collection of essays in which names have been changed so I don't get yelled at never fails to bring out the humour and the truth of growing up. So this book is pretty much a non-fiction book, and I don't tend to read non-fiction because I find them very dry, very heavy going. But this one was written as though it was a fiction book, which I think is a very clever way of writing an autobiography, is to make it sound like it could be anyone doing anything. And if any of you have read Adrian Mole, you will really, really enjoy this book. Adrian Mole is a fiction story about a young boy growing up, writing his diary and dealing with issues that teenagers deal with. So he has to deal with girls, his parents, problems at school, friends, all the hormones, that transition period between being a child and wanting to be an adult, and you're kind of stuck in this limbo of teenagerhood, and it's not fun. And this guy does exactly that, and the fact that it is his own life just makes it so much more amazing, because we all have suffered some sort of issue, problem, trauma throughout our teenage years, because it's a horrible time. It is a horrible time. Not knowing what you want to do, what you want to be, who you are, having things thrown at you from your school, from your parents, from your friends, and having to deal with all of that. And I think one thing that I did find really good about this book is that although it's set in America, and I'm obviously English, and our school systems are very, very different from each other, you still have to deal with the same kind of things. You have to deal with wanting to have a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, trying to build a friendship circle, not embarrassing yourself by doing stupid things, because teenagers are very judgmental. And although we live in two completely different places, a lot of the things in here I had to deal with. Things like prom. We don't do. Well, we didn't back then. I think probably prom is a big thing now, but back when I was at school it wasn't a big thing. And kind of what you wore and things like that, because we have school uniforms. So that wasn't a big deal. But you can feel the angst. You can feel the stresses of dealing with your parents and then putting restrictions on you and you not being able to do things, and you wanting to do things because you want to grow up and you want to explore and you want to become the person that you want to become. And this was just a really heartfelt, open, honest account of childhood and the embarrassing things and the things that you just wish you could forget. And I just think it was really, really well written. A pretty quick read, even though I do take years to read a book. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I think it's a book that everyone should read. And it just covers so many issues, so many problems in a really light-hearted, but also serious way. I can't really explain it. He makes light of the things that have happened to him, but it just shows that we all kind of deal with teenagerness, and it's something that we do get through. So I really, really enjoyed it. Glad I read it, and I would recommend this. So if you'd like to hear any of my other book reviews, please subscribe. I put videos out every time I've read a book or done something bookish or bought more books. So if you're interested in anything bookish-ish, then please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.